Order. May I have a roll call, please?
David Fuentes, Precinct 1.
Eli Torres, Precinct 4.
Richard Cortez, County Judge. That constitutes a quorum. We have Commissioner Cantu that's around here somewhere. We'll be here in a moment. Would you lead us in prayer?
Please, Judge, I would love to. Thank you very much. All right, let us pray. Father God, again, we give you many thanks, Lord, for another day that you've allowed us to have, Lord. We continue to lift up our elected officials, Lord, not just our judge, board commissioners, all elected officials, Lord, that lead this great county. Just continue to provide them with your wisdom, Lord, with your guidance. May they seek it always, Lord, and more importantly, with your peace through your Son, Jesus, Lord, as they continue to make all the decisions that affect us all, Lord. We continue to pray just for our workers as well, Lord. I ask for the same guidance for myself, all our staff, the Drains District, the county as well, Lord. And when we all just continue to work as was working for you, Lord. I ask this in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Do we have anyone signed up for open forum?
No, sir, we do not.
Okay. We're going to the approval of the consent agenda.
Yes, Judge, there's two items that my staff have pointed out to me right now, items 5A and 6A that we'd like to pull and put on regular agenda, but everything else is in order. Most of the items are on the consent agenda are permits, discharge permits for subdivisions and payments to vendors regarding services that are being rendered for the district. Everything has been reviewed by my engineering team and my accounting team as well on those.
So it's just 5A and 6A?
Please, yes.
Move for approval without 5A and 6A.
Second.
There's a motion to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
So I'll cover 5A. Is that appropriate, council? Cover that has been pulled? Okay. 5A is requesting approval of closing documents, parcel 1922, as relates to the J9 project and authority of the chairman of the board, execute documents pending final review. Just it needs to independent action by the board to get that done.
Move for approval?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And item 2, requesting approval of issue manual check for item 1 after review and compliance of contract terms and conditions.
So move.
Maldi. Second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. 6A is requesting authority to advertise and approval of plans specifications developed by project engineer LNG Engineering. Document Generation 1, Mission Lateral Section 1, 2018, Bond Referendum Project 26, RFP number HEDD 119-074-1113, including the re-advertisement of the project and the event no bid responses are received and or rejected and project is still required. This is one of our bond projects in Precinct 2 and 3. It's the first segment that starts at Benson and traverses westerly over to Stewart Road.
Move for
Everything's
approval.
in order for that.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Okay. Judge, if I may, I believe there was someone that signed up for open forum. I was just notified.
I thought I had the right form. My apologies. Yes, there is. It's Maria Romero. There is a 3-minute time limit. I will advise accordingly.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es María Romero. El día de hoy vengo representando a mi colonia Iowa Garden, precinto 4. Primero quiero darle las gracias a todos por habernos apoyado en nuestra gala. Cada 2 años lo hacemos. Y muchas gracias por su apoyo. Esperamos traer su apoyo para aquí entre 2 años. Y también, nada más recordarle a la comisionada que tenemos un proyecto en camino, toda canta el drenaje de mi colonia. Y también darle las gracias al señor Salazar y al señor Cecín, porque siempre están contestándome cuando les hablo tocante lo de mi colonia. Muchas gracias a todos.
Good afternoon, Judge and Commissioners. My name is Maria Romero from Precinct Number 4. I'm here to thank you for your support in our gala that we have every 2 years, and I ask for your support in the next 2 years. So, and also thank Mr. Salazar for always answering when I call him, and remind you that we have a new project for the drainage in my colonia. So thank you for your support.
Okay. We'll go to item 5A.
Thank you, sir. General Operations, Route 5A, requesting approval to accept bids and approval to execute requirements agreements with multiple vendors submitting the lowest and best bids for primary and secondary items meeting all specified requirements. RFP number ACDD 1-19-066-1009, lubricants, antifreeze, grease, hydraulic fluids, and related items, subject to legal review in compliance with House Bill 1295. Now, we had this on bid already. We went out and bid again. There was a question brought up, in my understanding, regarding the citing of a particular brand, but we don't do that. We do equivalent, to a brand. So everything should be in order, but we'll have legal review it before it gets awarded to make sure everything's in compliance.
Move for approval.
Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. 5B, requesting authority to advertise and approve RFQ packet, i.e. legal notices, requirements, evaluations, criteria, et cetera. As attached here too, for Dow County Drainage District Number 1, Independent Financial Audit Services, RFQ number ACD 1-19-073-1113, including the advertisement of the RFQ in the event SOQs are rejected and no response are received and services are still required.
Move for approval. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item C, requesting approval of settlement agreement number 1 for Terra Firma Materials LLC, contract number CHCD 1-19-035A-0618, to amend the contract adding an alternate pit location subject to legal review and compliance with House Bill 1295.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item D, approval of the following forms. Form 1, performance review and evaluation form instructions, HR Form 010, performance review and evaluation form acknowledgement form, HR Form 011, performance review and evaluation form, clerical administration, HR Form 12, performance review and evaluation form, field operations trades, HR Form 13, performance review and evaluation form, supervisor technical, HR Form 14, performance review and evaluation form, management professional, HR Form 15. What we've done is we've taken the forms that were developed by HR County, and we've adopted those, obviously changed what needs to be addressed regarding the district, but it's still the same format that has been adopted by the county HR. We're asking for the same approval here.
Move for approval on 5D 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. 5E, discussion possible action relates to County District Number 1 Drainage Advisory Committee appointees. This is the advisory committee drainage appointees that was created back in, 2012 originally, I believe, when they did the first bond issuance. And then in 2018, we had some reappointments done when we were proposing the recent bond sale in 2018. So right now, we're making a change. There's an appointee, Precinct 1, that's being asked to be added, Mr. Alex Leva from Precinct 1 appointee, and Ms. Virginia Townsend has asked to be removed from the appointee list, which she was an appointee for Precinct 2. I thought it was Precinct 3, but it's Precinct 2 appointee. Everything else remains the same. And again, this is just a committee to convey information to the public. We had a meeting this past week, and we'll probably have one here in the next quarter to update on the status of the projects, and it's just a matter of just getting the word out to the citizenry on our projects and how they're developing. So,
Do you need a motion to
yeah, I would say
ratify
yes.
the appointments?
Yeah, that's an action.
Okay.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion
We'll
carries.
provide the updated list to all the board members.
For the record, we don't know, I can't remember.
I'll provide for the record, sir, for, if you like, I can just read it, just information, which is great. For the judge appointees, Dr. Frank Gajardo, Ann Cass, Yarda Corbett, John Womack, Joe Phillips, Mo Lopez, Marta Sanchez, and Eduardo Mejia. For Precinct 1 appointees, Mr. Sergio Zavala, Irving Esteve, Richard Voss, Danny Guzman, Craig Gonzalez, and now Mr. Alex Livas. Precinct 2 appointees, Mr. Omar Saldúa, Ben Arjona, Yvette Barrera, and Hilda Salinas. Precinct 3 appointees, Mayor Vigoro Lopez, Ricardo Villarreal, Mayor Ocaña, Mayor Rodriguez, and Mayor Salvador Vela. And alternate, we have Ms. Jessica Ortega Ochoa for Mission. In Precinct 4 appointees, we have Mr. Mike Rose, Joe Quiroga, David Ayanda, For Sasser, Commissioner Joaquin Zamora, and Victor Guerra are the Precinct 4 appointees. We'll distribute that out again to the board now, so we've updated so everyone can have a copy of the latest list. If I may, item 6A, requesting acceptance or approval of work authorization number 1 in the amount of $6,509.32 submitted by BZ Engineering LLC in relation to professional geotech service for McAllen Drain 2018 bond referendum project. 31 through awarded contract CACD 1-19-058-0730 for Dow County Drainage number 1 professional geotech service on call and as needed basis subject to legal review.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. 6B, requesting approval of supplemental agreement number 1, the professional service agreement, number C, HCD 1-19-022-0409, with Alpha Infrastructure Engineering PLC for the provision of professional engineering service for Southwest Westaco 2018 bond referendum project number 35, for the purpose of amending the agreement to substitute a sub-consultant list in Exhibit C1 project team, subject to compliance House Bill 1295. They're introducing Quintanilla Headley and Associates as the surveyor for the project.
Move for approval.
Second.
Just for the record, there is no additional charge for supervisors?
No, sir, there is no additional charge for supervisors, sir. These were negotiated originally with the contract, so no, there's none.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. 7A, requesting approval to accept bids and award construction contract to lowest and best bidder meeting all specified requirements. Morewell LLC for RFP number HCD 1-19-069-1009, Chaparral Drain Extension Improvements, 16-inch RCP jack and bore, Donna Irrigation Crossing, base bid and alternate number 1. The total amount of $145,757.63, as recommended by HCD 1 number 1 engineer, Mr. Saldivar, subject to legal approval and compliance House Bill 1295.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Commissioner Fuentes, this is part of our Chaparral Drain Extension, the southern part of Donna, sir.
Oh, yes, sir.
Precinct 2, pursuant to Texas Law Government Code 262031, in the interest of expediting project's progress, requesting authority approval for Drainage District General Manager to execute change orders that involve an increase or decrease in cost of $50,000 or less, in no event to exceed the change order statutory limits. The original contract price may not be decreased by 18% or more without the consent of the contractor.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 7B, approval to issue payment of the following items: J09 Drain Budget 133,300, invoice PP08 2019, the amount of $2,710.92. Hidalgo County Precinct Number 4, reimbursement labor machine hours related to construction of the J09 project. Pay period 8.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item C, approval to issue payment of the following items: review and compliance contract terms and conditions, J09 Drain Improvements Budget 300, application payment number 10, the amount of $184,134.72. Castle Enterprise LLC pertaining to construction contract number CHD 1-18-020-0508, J09 Drainage Improvements Phase 3.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
8A, approval to issue payment on the following: Ravenville Drain Budget 130, Texas Water Development Grant, invoice number PP0820 2019, the amount of $623,778.01. From Dow County Precinct Number 4, reimbursement of labor and machine hours related to the construction of the Ravenville Drain Project, pay periods 8 through 20, 2019. Payment is to Precinct 4.
Move for approval.
Move for approval. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Right-of-way acquisition. 9A, discussion possible action to approve and authorize General Manager to execute Department of Army offer to sell real property for the project CBP RGV 04, track numbers RGV MCS 2223 and 3018, as authorized Chairman to execute all of the documents necessary to effectuate conveyance of the real property subject to final legal review. For the number that we have for those, let me see. Here we are. For the track RGV MCS 2223, it was $10,686. And for the RGV MCS 3018, it's $20,209. However, we still have the closing costs and all that will be accounted for at the end. But those are the numbers that we agreed with the federal government on. I just want to put them on the record.
We don't have a
Move
choice,
for
right?
approval.
Well,
Oh, you need action for that or what?
yes, we do need action for
I
that.
just asked a question.
We have a motion and a second discussion.
Do we have a choice in that? Well, we met with them several times, Commissioner. We negotiated with them regarding the costs. They did acquire an additional piece that was going to be a remainder that was going to be no use to us. So in all, it was a fair negotiation, a fair, I guess, acquisition. They did buy, as I mentioned, what was the remainder, and then on one of the properties, they adjusted the wall to allow for the precinct 3 to still work with USDA on one of their sites that they have there for cattle and things of that nature. So we did have a lengthy discussion. We met on the field with legal and everybody. So, yes, sir.
This was going to be the subject of a federal condemnation action if something wasn't agreed to.
And that's what I was referring to, is that we really didn't, eventually we wouldn't have had a choice on this.
That is correct, sir. Maybe I gave you a long explanation. I'll
That's
apologize.
okay. I just wanted to get to that final answer. Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir. You got it. My bad.
Anyone else? We have a motion to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
10A, would you have a small item in closed session?
Okay. Pursuant to Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, we need to adjourn to discuss the items listed there. May I have a motion to retire to closed session?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we're back from executive session. Are there any action items to be taken?
No, sir. And 11A, possible action in real estate acquisition will proceed as directed. And 11B, again, no action.
Okay, well, I believe that concludes our agenda items. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Hidalgo County Commissioners Court meeting to order. May I have a roll call, please?
David Fuentes, Precinct 1.
Eddie Cantu, Precinct 2.
Joe Flores, precinct 3.
Ellie Torres, Precinct 4.
Richard Cortez, County Judge. That constitutes a quorum. Today, we're privileged to have, honor to have our newest Assistant Veterans Service Officer, Personnel Specialist, Second Class Alma C. Martinez, United States Navy, will be leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ms. Martinez served in the U.S. Navy from September 17, 2001, until her honorable discharge on December 31st, 2010. Thank you for your service. Where the flag's at? This way.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Apologies for no flag.
Please remain standing. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we give thanks for the democracy alive in our country and for the freedom to worship you. Help the elected government and all in positions of power and authority to govern wisely and for the common good of all. Amen. Amen.
Next item is approve of the consent agenda. Are there any items to be pulled?
Yes, there was. I know mine for sure.
Sorry, item 13A and B.
Remove 13A and B.
Yes.
Move for approval without 13A and B.
Second.
Hold on.
Yes, sir.
13A and B.
Correct.
Okay, for some reason or other, I had 14F and 14S.
Those two also, well, 14F for sure also.
Okay,
What is?
And 22A. No, this is regular.
And
Okay.
And 14 what?
F.
okay, 13A, 13B, 14F, and I had here 14S.
S.
No?
I don't have it with me. Let me double check.
Check.
No, I don't have any notes, Judge, I'm sorry.
Okay, that was probably just some of my notes. Okay, so you have a motion to exclude those three?
Yes.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
And we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
So, if I may start, with respect to consent agenda, item 13A and B, Commissioner Fuentes abstained from any discussion and/or action. Motion approved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Let the record show that Commissioner Fuentes abstained from voting.
Thank you.
On 14F, it should have been on regular agenda, and at this time, I'm going to take it up before you start the regular agenda, but it would be considered a regular agenda item. This is recommendation by project engineer, LNG Engineering, and supporting concurrence from TxDOT to Hidalgo County Commissioners Court to award to the responsible vendor submitting the lowest and best bid. That is Earthworks Enterprises LLC in the amount of $16,519,063.02 for request for bid number 017 for the Dicker Road reconstruction.
Motion approved.
Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Pursuant to Texas Local Government Code 262-031, and in the interest of expediting the project's progress, we're requesting the approval to designate either the precinct commissioner or Armando Garza Jr. to execute change orders that involve an increase or decrease in cost of $50,000 or less, and as further described on the agenda item.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. That's all I have.
And I know now what I have there. There's some, I'll discuss it with you.
What?
Some differences in the paperwork
Okay.
on that, on 14S.
All right.
And Judge Commissioners, as we get started, I just want to make sure that the audience knows that we do have translation services available, servicios de traducción, for those that need it. We do have the apparatus in the back for the translation.
Okay. Item 5A is a proclamation declaring October 2019 as National Bullying Prevention Month.
And Judge Commissioners, for the record, we do have a participation form for agenda item 5A from Ms. Fern McClarty.
Well, I thought y'all were going to read it, but anyway, what it is, you're doing a proclamation declaring October, which is almost over, National Bully Prevention Month. And you're going to vote on this. And my question was, it says bullying is physical, verbal, sexual, emotional harm, intimidation, intentionally directed at a person or a group of people. Bullying occurs in neighborhoods, playgrounds, schools, talks about the internet, cell phones. I said cities and counties. Various researchers have concluded that bullying is the most common form of violence affecting millions of American children and adolescents, and I hate to tell them, adults and taxpayers. And my question is, y'all are going to vote on bullying, and y'all are bullying the taxpayers of Hidalgo County. You have the adults, and most time in the costly fees, the fines, making the public wait till the very end of this meeting before you allow them to speak. So y'all are going to vote on this, that y'all are not bullying, but you do bully the public, I think.
Judge Commissioners, if we could move on to the regular agenda, we're waiting on some people. For
Okay.
this.
Well, then, do we have the proclamation of the national prescription?
We're going to hold off on that
Oh.
one and also on the Down syndrome proclamation.
Okay.
Thank you.
In 19A also?
Yeah.
That one too? Okay, sorry. All right. We'll go to number 5C.
5C.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Judge Rosalinda Cantu presenting for the District Attorney's Office. Item 5C is approval to deobligate in-kind match for the VAP grant number 2924302.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
5D is we're requesting approval of interfund transfer in the amount of $37,650.64 from transfer out grant level 1 VAP Fund 1223 into CJD VAP Fund 1281.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
May I move to 6A?
Yes, ma'am.
Item 6A, HIDA Fund 1252. We're asking for authorization and approval of appropriation to transfer fund balance of $424,927.59 from the Hidalgo County High Intensity Drug Trafficking Area Task Force Treasury Fund to the Hidalgo County Criminal District Attorney's Office Treasury Fund.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 2, asking for authorization for Criminal District Attorney Ricardo Rodriguez Jr. to sign the Department of Treasury Equitable Sharing Program Subrecipient Award Letter on behalf of the Hidalgo County Criminal District Attorney's Office and Commander Juan Cifuentes on behalf of Hidalgo County High Intensity Drug Trafficking Area Task Force.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And number 3, we are asking for authorization to submit the Department of Treasury Equitable Sharing Program Subrecipient Award Letter.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sheriff's Office, 7A.
Good afternoon, Judge. Good afternoon, Commissioners. Captain Friedland with the Sheriff's Office. Under 7A, Agenda Item 72799, 1, authorization and approval to purchase 2 new cell phone line additions through county's membership participation with the contract DIR TSO 3420 with AT&T. Number 2, authorization and approval to activate the following cell phone plan: unlimited voice, data, talk, text, EPTT, M2M, and with hotspot and tethering priority and preemption basic AirWatch, or mobile iron license for 2 cell phones at a monthly rate of $49.99. Estimated monthly rate, 2 phones, $99.98.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And under B, requesting authorization and approval for Sheriff J.E. Eddie Guerra to sign required documents on the Children's Advocacy Center and interagency MOU and interagency working protocol agreement.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. That's all I
Now
have.
let the record show that our jail recently met all the requirements for jail standards with a very high rating. Congratulations.
Judge, we're ready to proceed to item 19A.
We're ready to come in.
To proceed to item 19A, the Down
Okay.
syndrome.
Item 19A.
Hi, Viva. Ya, de qué lado, cualquier lado, sí. Así para que puedan salir. Good afternoon, Judge and Commissioners. On behalf of Precinct 2 and all of Hidalgo County, it is my pleasure to read the proclamation for Down Syndrome Awareness Month. Whereas each year approximately 6,000 babies are born in the United States with Down syndrome. Though these newborns will experience many challenges, American innovation and research is helping these beautiful souls lead independent, full, and happy lives. And whereas every human life possesses immeasurable value and has fundamental moral, it's important for all citizens to remember civil and constitutional rights, and people with Down syndrome deserve to be fully included and actively participate in all aspects of society. And whereas Hidalgo County is inspired by the spirit and exuberant joy with which these treasured Americans live each day, people with Down syndrome should be defined by their own strengths, abilities, and inherent value. And whereas this month of October is an important opportunity for Hidalgo County to reaffirm its commitment to creating a society that better appreciates and respects the dignity of life in all of its beautiful and miraculous stages. Together, we can create an inclusive county, one where citizens with Down syndrome are embraced in schools, workplaces, and communities, one where discrimination can no longer cast a shadow of inequality, with appropriate resources and support groups, allowing people with Down syndrome to make decisions about their own lives and be heard on issues affecting their lives. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby proclaims the month of October as Down Syndrome Awareness Month and encourages community leaders and businesses to foster opportunities for persons with Down syndrome so they are better able to participate in our workforce and pursue their dreams. Motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. With opposed, motion carries.
And how about we take a photo with Commissioner's Court and Commissioner Cantu?
Is he like the Astros? He likes dinosaurs. Dinosaurs? And the garbage truck guy. And the guy that picks up the garbage. Yeah. Does he give you a ride?
Okay, guys, on the count of three, I want everyone to smile, okay? On the count of three, smile big. 1, 2, and 3. Everyone smile. All right, thank you. One more.
How are you? I did. Text me. You need to text me, okay?
Regañado.
Good to see you. Want to take a picture?
Yeah.
Yep.
Smile, smile when you get the icon. Okay. Hi,
Smile.
Sharon.
Smile. Come on. Ready to fly to mom?
I've never had a best hug since I did today. Thank you.
Thank you.
So much. Thank you.
I'm good. How you doing? Hi, Emily. Good to see you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Hi. How you doing? You're getting really big now. How old are you?
Thank you for coming.
Hi. It was good to meet you. Thanks for coming. Oh my God. How are you, son? Good to see you. Hi, Anson. Hi, Anita. How are you?
Take beautiful pictures. Thank you for being here. What's up, honey? How are you?
Don't cry.
Mama,
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Absolutely.
Thank you for coming.
Look, they want to take a picture. Absolutely.
Sí, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Gracias.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Rosario, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Oh, thank you for being here.
The judge?
Hi, Mija. You're beautiful.
Thank you, Princess, for being here. I love your team.
Go ahead. This was flirting, I think, with all the guys.
She's a cheerleader.
Now you. Wait.
We get a name real quick. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. It's Viva's turn.
That's attitude right there.
Thank you very much. Bye, Viva. Text me. Okay. Can I just make one comment real quick?
Sure, of course.
So for all of you in the audience, we're actually raffling. We have a raffle today for $3,000, and all the proceeds goes. Half of the money will go to the Rio Grande Valley Down Syndrome, and half will go to Capel Kids. And we'll be presenting those checks at the ribbon cutting of our inclusive park. But for the $100, you get this cup, and you get to donate to these great kids, and also to have a chance to win $3,000. So, Mondo has cups. Get with Mondo, and thank you all.
Okay, item 5A, proclamation.
Good morning again, Judge and Commissioners. Item 5A, under the Criminal District Attorney Ricardo Rodriguez's office, is a proclamation declaring October 2019 as National Bullying Prevention Month. And I'd like to ask the DA and everyone who's here in support of bullying prevention to please join us up here.
Doctor.
Okay, may I start? Okay. Whereas bullying is physical, verbal, sexual, or emotional harm or intimidation intentionally directed at a person or a group of people. And whereas bullying occurs in neighborhoods, playgrounds, schools, and through technology, such as the internet and cell phones. And whereas various researchers have concluded that bullying is the most common form of violence affecting millions of American children and adolescents annually. And whereas thousands of Hidalgo County children and adolescents are affected by bullying, And whereas targets of bullying are more likely to acquire physical, emotional, and learning problems, and students who are repeatedly bullied often fear such activities as riding the bus, going to school, and attending community activities. And whereas children who bully are at greater risk of engaging in more serious, violent behaviors. And whereas children who witness bullying often feel less secure, more fearful, and intimidated. And whereas the Hidalgo County Criminal District Attorney's Office and the students of Lamar Academy and Weslaco ISD and others encourage the citizens of Hidalgo County to observe National Bullying Prevention Month with activities and conversations about respectful and nonviolent relationships in their homes, schools, and communities. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court does hereby proclaim the month of October as Bullying Prevention Month and encourages Hidalgo County residents to attend scheduled awareness and education events. Approve this 22nd day of October.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Judge, Commissioners, good afternoon. I apologize for my tardiness. But as always, thank you for your support. I mean, you guys are always in full support of the different events that are going on in the county, especially with the different issues that go on within the county, within our schools, and within our communities. And bullying is one of the things that we hear about a whole lot, and it does affect many of our children that live here in this county, and also children that attend schools within this county. And it's something that we take very serious. As you can see, many individuals that have partnered up with the DA's office, partnered up with law enforcement, and partnered up with different agencies, but also partnered up with many schools throughout the county. So at this point, I'd like to introduce Genesis Garza, who's here with us. She's a McAllen High School senior, and she's Angels of Love, Miss Texas Teen World America. Is that correct, Genesis? Okay. So if we may, she's going to say a few words on behalf of this proclamation.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Genesis Garza, Teen Texas World America. And on, I believe, all of our behalves, I would like to say thank you. Bullying is a big issue that teens nowadays have to face, and I am so happy to see that we're finally doing something about it. So, thank you.
And with us today also, I'd like to give the opportunity, we have our Weslaco ISD Superintendent, Dr. Canales. If she would also like to share a few words with us.
Judge and Commissioners, thank you very much. In our district, like all districts across the state of Texas, we're teaching our children not just academics, we're teaching them how to be winners in life. And for us in Weslaco ISD, and I can speak for my colleagues here in the area, we teach our kids about kindness, about lifting each other up, not putting each other down. There's already too many negative things in the world. We should be about coming together, uniting, and supporting each other, not just for success now, but throughout the course of our lifetimes. So thank you so much for this proclamation and for supporting our school districts and ensuring that kindness is everywhere. Thank you.
We also have McAllen ISD Superintendent, Dr. Gonzalez. Also, I'd like to say a few words. Yes.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. Thank you so much for everything that you all do. You all are wonderful individuals for taking time to make this important. It says a lot about you all and where your heart is. So on behalf of McAllen ISD, our Board of Trustees, and everybody involved, we want to thank you all from the bottom of our hearts for making this important, because we want kids to come to school and learn. We want them to feel comfortable, and we want them to know that there's a lot of people in this community that care about them, and you all are in the forefront of that caring. So we appreciate you all. Thank you.
We also have Judge Fonseca, who has joined us here today again, and I'd like to, for him to also share a few words with us.
Thank you. I'm so glad you're recognizing this issue and that you're bringing it to the forefront. It's very important that we teach our kids to be kind and tell them about the consequences of their actions, especially nowadays with social media. It's very important that we bring this to the forefront. So thank you again for the proclamation.
At this time, I'd like to thank all law enforcement officers and agencies that are here with us as well, again, that have partnered up with us for this great cause. I know the sheriff is here as well. I know that we have some DPS officers as well that have joined us here today. We have a crime victim advocates from our office who have been doing a great job with all the prevention awareness programs that we have. And to all the other agencies that are here with us as well, we want to thank them for joining us. And again, thank you for the opportunity for everyone to be here and also to make aware that we need to stop bullying. It does affect, whether it's a child, whether it's an adult, it affects them somehow, some way. But more importantly, our children, it affects them physically, mentally, emotionally, and it may cause to so many things that we have seen today because of bullying. So thank you again for your support, and again, I want to thank everyone who's here with us today. Again, we're going to continue fighting the cause in the sense of we have to stop bullying. I have a shirt at home that I wear once in a while when I go to the groceries, and it says "Stop Bullying." So I'll continue wearing that shirt as well, so everyone can know that we're behind all those individuals that somehow, some way, may have felt that they've been bullied in the past, and they'll have a voice for them. So thank you again. God bless. Thank you.
We'll try lining people up at an angle on those two padded carpets. Maybe our superintendents can
Is that
be
what that orange is for?
right on center.
What's up, Doc? Dr. Mullins, what are you doing? Good to see you. Hi there, how are you?
And just stand on the pattern carpet on the pattern carpet. And maybe you can stand on one side.
Hey, Dr. Canales, how are you? Really, Mr. D. We're good. I can see the camera.
Can the camera see you?
If I can see it, it should be able to see me.
One more.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Sure, brother. How are you? Yes, sir. Thank you. Thanks for being here. He said good to see you. Thanks for being here. Judge, thanks for being here. Good to see you, Judge. Thank you. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Are you sure? I'm so sorry you didn't know about my date.
My fault.
So when it's Tuesday night?
Ivana? Good?
That's fine. That's fine. You deserve the opportunity.
Okay, the next item is item 5B, proclamation declaring October 26th National Prescription Drug Take Back Day.
Good morning again. Julia Sullivan with Public Affairs, representing our Criminal District Attorney's Office, Ricardo Rodriguez Jr.'s office. Item 5B is a proclamation declaring October 26th as National Prescription Drug Take Back Day. And whereas National Prescription Drug Take Back Day is a day for every American in every community across the country to do his or her part to fight the opioid crisis by dispensing and disposing of unwanted prescription medications from their medicine cabinets. And whereas the Drug Enforcement Administration launched its prescription drug take-back program when both the Environmental Protection Agency and the Food and Drug Administration declared this a public safety and health hazard. And whereas the nation is facing one of the worst drug crises in history, with one American dying of a drug overdose every 9 minutes. And whereas rates of prescription drug abuse in the U.S. are alarmingly high, as are the number of accidental poisonings and overdoses due to these drugs. And whereas helping people to dispose of potentially harmful prescription drugs is just one way our local law enforcement agencies are working to reduce the addiction and overdose deaths plaguing this country due to opioid medications. And whereas Edinburgh PD, Edinburgh CISD PD, McAllen ISD PD, FAR PD, San Juan PD, Palmview PD, Hidalgo County Constable Precinct 4, Mission PD, Westlake PD, Donna Police Department, Benitez Public Library, Alton Police Department, and La Jolla Police Department have each have a disposal box for public use in each of their offices. In the last 4 years, the boxes have collected over 9,636 pounds of unused prescription medication. And whereas the Hidalgo County Criminal District Attorney's Office and UNIDAD, Coalition of Behavioral Health Solutions, encourages the citizens of Hidalgo County to observe National Prescription Take-Back Day and properly dispose of their unused prescription drugs. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court does hereby proclaim October 26, 2019 as National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day and encourages Hidalgo County residents to attend scheduled awareness and educational events. Approve this 22nd day of October 2019.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried.
And joining us to say a few words is our District Attorney, Ricardo Rodriguez Jr.
Again, Commissioner Judge, thank you again for the support. This is an important matter, an issue that so many agencies, whether it's law enforcement or UNIDA and other agencies, have been trying to combat for a long time, especially when we're talking about prescription drugs. You know, as you may know, for so many years and just in the recent past months, there's been many lawsuits that have been filed against big companies when we're talking about opiates and prescription drugs as well. So we have where we're fighting and combating the drugs on the streets, the illegal drugs, but we're also fighting and combating the legal drugs that are in our medicine cabinet. So this is a great opportunity, again, to make the public aware of what is available to be able to dispose of those prescription drugs that are in our medicine cabinets. And, for example, I was just talking to my eye doctor the other day, and she wasn't even aware or paid attention that these prescription drugs do harm, if used in the wrong way, many individuals, especially young children and adults as well. So thank you again for your support and bringing this awareness. We have with us today Eddie Quintanilla from Unidad Coalition Chair, who has a few words on behalf of the proclamation.
Thank you very much, Pedro. Good afternoon, dear Commissioners Court. My name is Eddie Quintanilla, and I'm the chair for Unidad Coalition. I would like to express my sincere appreciation for your support and dedication to Hidalgo County by partnering up for this mission. This proclamation is key to reduce the misuse and proper disposal of prescription drugs among youth and the residents of Hidalgo County. It is important to mention that there's an opioid crisis in our nation, as we all know it. But through collaborative efforts, we can make a difference to our community. This is not a one-task-person community effort. We are committed to mobilize the community to improve their quality of life and prevent drug addiction and bring in resources to Hidalgo County. Unidad Coalition would like to thank everyone here present, police departments, sheriff's department, precinct 4, and for hosting all our drop boxes. Thank you to those who participate during National Take Back Day and make it a success. We ask everyone who has unused and unwanted prescription drugs to come out and dispose of their medications properly, and we hope to keep bringing more resources to Hidalgo County and continue our partnerships. Thank you very much.
We also have a Sheriff Eddie Guerra who also shares a few words with us.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. Thank you all for supporting this effort. A couple of years ago, my wife and I, we were going through our medicine cabinet, and we were guilty of not disposing some of our prescription pills. And if you ask these individuals that are hooked on substance abuse where they got started, and a lot of times it started there in their own homes, abusing the legal prescription drugs. So we want to remind the community that we do have drop boxes across the county. Here locally, you can go over to the Constable Precinct 4 office, and you can dispose of your prescription drugs. They won't take any needles or any liquids, but the pills, you can drop them off there at those drop boxes. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
So again, I want to thank all the agencies that are here, and what we'll do is we'll submit all the different locations for the drop boxes that are available. That way we can post on our county website, and that way the community and the citizens of the county of Hidalgo can know where to go to if they have these prescription drugs in their cabinets or wish to get rid of them and dispose of them.
May I say that we also have some needs assessments with local data from us on drug abuse prevention, and again, this is data from the police department here at Hidalgo County. Okay, they are available if you'd like to take one. We'll have them.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you. And again, on the proclamation, we have the different agencies that have the drop boxes, but we'll go ahead and submit them as well to the county. That way we can post them and let the community know where these drop boxes are available and the different sites. So again, thank you again for your support, and for all the agencies that are here. Our office, thank you for everything that you do, all the crime victim advocates and all the prosecutors, and trying to combat the prescription drugs. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Judge and County Commissioner, thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thanks for being here. Thank you very much. There you go.
Sheriff, stand right here. If you mind, come over here. I'll move it up. Okay, that's good. And sir, sorry, I don't want
Okay, smile, everyone.
One, two, and three. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner, thank you.
Thank you.
For all your support. Judge.
See you, Sheriff. Judge. Thanks for being here. Thank you for your hard work.
Are you sure? Yeah, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's the 1 o'clock. The last month.
She like it?
Week of the month. Okay.
She's good like that.
Ivana.
Okay, item 8A.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners. Item 8A, there's no action to be taken under item 8A 1 and 2. Commissioners, Judge, if I may just real quickly, let me get E, F, and G out of the way. Item 8E is approval to accept a check from Princeton Excess and Surplus Line Insurance Company in the amount of $27,999.35. This is for reimbursement of amount exceeding our SIR in connection with a case, CL 174741-B, Avelino Rodriguez versus Hidalgo County.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Okay. Item 8F is approval to accept a check from Princeton Excess and Surplus Line Insurance Company in the amount of $38,659.89. This is for reimbursement of amount exceeding our SIR in connection with case number C 1942-16-J, Cesar Rojas Manzaneras versus Hidalgo County.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And item G is approval of our 2020 holiday schedule. Judge Commissioners, you all have a copy of it, and the schedule for 2020 includes New Year's Day, Martin Luther King Day, President's Day, Good Friday, Memorial Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, Columbus Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving Day, or Thanksgiving 2 days, Christmas 2 days, and then New Year's Eve.
Consistent with prior years.
It's consistent, yes, sir.
Move for
My apologies,
approval.
yes.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, and if I may go back up to item 8B, status update on Hidalgo County Wellness Program. I will turn this over to Commissioner Cantu.
So we'll be brief. If Diana Walpa can come up front. Basically, you know, this huge initiative that we have, it's huge in that we have 3,800 employees, and you know, it's one of the biggest expense we have on our budget, but we're tackling it, and I think that we're moving the county healthy and forward. Our ultimate goals are obviously to have a healthier lifestyle, whether it's through nutrition, fitness, or just going to your doctor more often. Those are the three main goals, but here to give us some of the insight of what they're doing. Let us know, Diana.
Okay, perfect. Good afternoon. Diana Walpa here from the Wellness Program. I'm going to distribute some of the highlights that we have and a poster for the event we have next Saturday.
Awesome.
So some of the events that we have been doing, the first thing, and as Commissioner has been mentioning, we do want to improve the quality of life of our employees. We want to make sure they have the resources, and we want to educate them on the benefits that they have with the medical insurance, so we can prevent medical conditions before they happen. So we have been doing some presentations. We actually did 24 presentations during the voluntary sessions, so we can explain them about the lifestyle habits that they can do. Also, Carlos Bracamontes, he's the program manager for the fitness facility. He has also been educating about what exercise they can do at home, and also he has been talking a little bit about nutrition, the portion size, the amount of water that they need to drink, among other items. Now, currently we're doing open enrollment presentations about the wellness program. We're educating them about some of the programs that we have with Aetna, such as Teladoc. We also have a new program that is going to start in 2020, which is the Aetna in Touch Care program. That's a disease management program, and it's going to help the people who have a chronic condition. We also have the Maintenance Choice program. That's also for people who have a chronic condition, and it's in case instead of going every month to the pharmacy, they can actually have a 90-day refill, and it's going to help them save time but also money. And the other one that we are doing, it's also promoting that they do have a zero copay physical, as well as our Facebook page, our fitness classes that we have available, among other things. And the second flyer that you have is the flyer for our community wellness event. We're actually going to have more, the second one in November the 2nd. Do you have any questions, or would you like to expand a little bit more, Commissioner, on the event that we're hosting on Saturday?
So obviously we've allowed fitness classes for all employees Monday through Friday, but what we did on Saturdays, we opened it up to the public. So not only are our employees taking advantage of it, but the public can take advantage of it too. It's a way to motivate everybody to get moving. Every first Saturday of the month, we're going to have an event for fitness also, but what we do is we're going to invite vendors. We've already had one, and the vendors that we're inviting are healthy vendors, people that either sell protein shakes, foods, products, so that our employees and also the whole county can understand where these foods and meal plans and protein shakes and juices exist, so that they can have access to them. Get onto our Facebook page. Anybody that has a Facebook page, it's closed to county employees. We have 466 members, which is tremendous. You get on the page and you get to see all the activities that we have for our employees. It's a good way to share what you're doing, what you're eating, what you're doing fitness-wise. We had Vince Young, the greatest college quarterback of all time, come by our facility to try it out. Vince recommends it, but of course we've had our younger employees, our older employees, and everybody seems to love the fitness programs, and so we invite everybody out there. But the great thing is, a lot of these initiatives that we had through Aetna already existed. Some of them already existed, but we weren't getting the word out. Now, through the help of Diana and Carlos, we're getting the word out so that we can be healthier. But thank you, Diana.
Thank you, Commissioner. And just to add, the Community Wellness Expo, it is open to the public, so feel free to invite your friends and family to the event. Thank you so much.
Just one quick note. Whether it's through Aetna, through our health program, just more focus on dietitians and healthy eating, healthy lifestyles, because we all know that 90% of our weight really is based on what we eat and drink. So if we could, and I appreciate the motion, the fitness, and that's all part of it, but whatever we can focus on making sure we educate people on how to eat right.
And I'm glad
changing lifestyles like that, because that's really what's going to make a big difference on weight, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, all of those related, the weight-related issues.
And I'm glad you mentioned that. That's a huge part of what we're doing. Carlos Bracamontes has a 4-page presentation that shows the size of your plate, what should be on your plate, the types of food you're supposed to eat, the types of sweeteners that you should stay away from, the type of drinks you should stay away from. And it's a 4-page document that the employees can take home and have as a baseline. We are teaming up with HEB, and we're going to be able to get some free visits to HEB, and HEB has nutritionists. They also have people that will walk you through the store and tell you where the better products are that can help you keep, basically instead of buying bad bread, you can buy good bread and tortillas and vegetables and other foods. We're going to have access to that through Aetna, so we're looking forward to that.
Good tortillas, good bread, man, I'm there. I'm so happy.
That's great.
It exists, Judge. You'll be surprised.
And I would just again encourage our health insurance program to provide whatever resources they have, because
Yes.
they have a lot of the medical background that.
And if I can just add to that, we're actually planning with the health systems that we have here at the Valley to do presentations with medical doctors in 2020, and we're going to go to the different precincts and departments to make sure that we can educate them. For example, we're going to have a presentation that focuses only on hypertension and what healthy eatings they can actually incorporate to the diet. So we're currently working on that also.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good job, man.
Okay, item 8C, presentation by
HC.
the auditor.
Yes, Mr. Longoria, there he is. We have a presentation of Bert McCumber Longoria LLP, County's 2018 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report and Single Audit.
Judge, good afternoon, members of the County Commission. I did one the other day, I'm sorry, of the Commissioners Court. My name is Ricky Longoria. I'm a partner with Bert McCumber and Longoria. Here with me today, I do have Luis Lopez, who is an audit manager with the firm. Asked him to come join me for a couple of reasons. One is I want to acknowledge his efforts in completing the audit. He did lead the team on behalf of the firm to complete the audit. And my second objective here today is maybe in the future I can get him to come up here and do the presentation. so we're kind of working on that.
So he can get gray hair like you? Right?
I don't know. It's getting worse, Judge. I don't know what to do, whether he's going to be able to catch up or not at some point. But I'm here today to present the audit report for the year ended December 31st, 2018. I've had our staff reach out to y'all's offices to see if y'all were wanting one-on-one. Some of you have taken us up on that offer. For those that have not, that offer is always extended. Certainly, we think it's important that the leadership understands, certainly, maybe not every detail of a 400-page report, but certainly from a high-level perspective, where the county stands. Also, too, I do want to acknowledge everyone that was involved in the audit process. The county auditors certainly thousands of hours in trying to put together this 400-page document that ultimately becomes a permanent record of this county. And so I certainly want to thank them for their efforts, because I know their team puts in a lot of time and effort into this process. My objective here today is not to go over every single number within the audit report, but certainly give you all a high-level overview of what I think are the important numbers, especially putting myself in your shoes in terms of leadership. And so that's my objective here today, but this is your meeting. And so if you want to go into detail, I can certainly do a deep dive into detail, or I can keep it at the 1,000-foot level, so that I'll let you all kind of guide me in that manner. For now, I'm going to start off at the 1,000-foot level. Before I get started, you all have a number of documents. I see some of them sitting there on top. You can follow along or just kind of hear me speak and just stop me if I say something that maybe catches your attention. Before I get started, I do have to go over the governance letter. It's a required communication. Certainly the communication's in writing. And so I was just going to point to some of the important factors that we as professionals are required to convey. One of them, just acknowledging the scope of the audit, again, the County of Hidalgo for the year ended December 31st, 2018, but also note that it also encompasses Head Start, Community Service Agency, and also the Urban County Program as well. Acknowledging, again, that any financial statement includes estimates in its preparation, whether it's allowance for bad debt as it pertains to taxes receivable or any other estimates. Most people think that accounting is a complete science. It's not. There's a little bit of art involved in the process, and that relates to the estimates, some of which I just described. I do want to talk about the timing of the audit. We talk about this every year. Certainly is our objective and the team's objective, and I say team, not only our firm, but the county auditor staff as well, to complete the audit by June 30th of every year. Just to let you know, the audit was signed and issued in late July. And so certainly we always try working for that June 30th deadline, if you will. It's more of an internal GFOA deadline. But it's certainly that we hope to continue to work with the county in trying to meet. And so I just want to acknowledge the submission date. Also, to just throughout the audit process, there are a number of adjustments that are provided to us throughout the course of the audit. This year, we had a total of 63 different type adjustments between the time that we started the audit and by the time we ended up at the end. A lot of them tend to be more routine adjustments. Some are correcting type entries, but that's just part of the audit process. With respect to disagreements with management, just acknowledge that an audit process is that. It's a process and includes discussions, professional type discussions regarding accounting principles and things of that nature. And that's just part of the process. And so I can't say anything rose to the level of disagreement with management. Acknowledging that management is taking responsibility for the audit report itself. Again, our objective is to actually conduct the audit, but the actual audit report in terms of the 400 pages is actually prepared internally, and you all take responsibility for that. Certainly we read it and make sure it's consistent with our findings during the course of the audit. But certainly acknowledging, management does acknowledge its responsibilities with respect to the audit report itself. And that, for the most part, are the highlights of this particular document. Like I said, it's a required document. I just got to go through it, so thank you for indulging me in this part of the process. I'm now going to turn to the 400-page document. Again, feel free to turn pages or just hear me speak here a little bit. And again, if anything catches your attention, just stop me and we can discuss it. In my mind, the most important part, and this is why we get engaged as auditors, and that is to express an opinion on the financial statements. And our opinion is an unmodified, unqualified opinion, consistent with the audit opinions of prior years. And so basically what that opinion states is that the financial statements presented before you are fairly stated in all material respects. It doesn't say it doesn't mean to imply that every number is exact, but certainly there's a range of acceptability in terms of the numbers being presented. And so just confirming to you all that, again, the financial statements are fairly presented in all material respects, and it is unqualified and modified opinion. So congratulations to the county and continue to maintain that audit opinion. I am going to turn to page 32, which relates to fund balance, because I've always believed that at the governance level, irrespective of what all the other numbers say, you kind of live and die by what your fund balance is. And understanding that fund balance is really the end result of either a period of time or a cumulative period of time. And so on page 32, you will see the balance sheet of the County of Hidalgo, specifically looking at the general fund. And so the general fund, as of December 31st, 2018, shows a balance of $34,692,000 of unassigned. And there's also an assigned balance of $14,063,000. And so I note the assigned part because the assignments are what y'all do internally. So if you needed to move from the assigned to the unassigned, you could. And so one could arguably say that your total fund balance is really the sum of the two. But for the purpose of this presentation and the audit report, currently the county is depicting a balance of $34,692,000. A couple of comments related there too is, a common question is, well, is that good enough? If you're the 6th or 7th largest county in the entire state, is that good enough? Is that enough reserves in order for one to look at the county and say it's in reasonable financial good health, if you will? And so there are a couple of measuring sticks in that regard. Some folks like to look at it on a percentage basis, 10 to 15% of something. Other folks like to look at it in a days basis. Do we have, how many days could the county operate if something happened and didn't have any additional revenue and it only had to live off of fund balance in the general fund? And so I'll address both of those items. One, internally, your internal goal is to maintain a fund balance of 10 to 15% of your expenditures. And as of December 31st, I believe you're at 17%. If you look at the days perspective, if you're interested, well, how many days do we have? Again, accounting is a science, but part art. But depending on how you do the math, you can get as little as 60 days and as much as 90 days. And so the benchmark, people say, well, what's the standard? What exactly should we be targeting? The benchmark is very subjective, but most folks try to get 90 days within their fund balance. I think anywhere between 60 days and 90 days is acceptable and reasonable, given the facts and circumstances of the times. But I do believe from a fund balance perspective, I think the county is doing very well. It did decrease compared to last year by a couple of $1 million, but when you stand back and take a big picture perspective, I still think that it's in pretty good shape. There is a schedule in the back that actually shows the historical progress of fund balance, and for the past couple of years, it's been between the $34 million to the $36 million range. In terms of just the overall county, and just so the public knows, certainly because the county has a healthy fund balance, it's been consistent ensuring that it pays its debts. Certainly, it's consistent ensuring that the bonds and its indebtedness is being paid off in a timely manner and in the manner that it should be. And at this point, I'm talking about general obligation debt, I'm talking about certificates of obligation, but also just the day-to-day debt that it incurs just to operate the county, whether it's paying the electricity or the water or even salaries for that matter. And so from that perspective, the county has been able to do so in a reasonable and timely manner. It's been able to do so because it has the resources to do so. Okay. Does anybody have questions about the general fund? Because there's one other fund I do want to talk about. I do think it's worth mentioning at this particular point.
I'd like just clarification on the deferred inflows of resources. On the unavailable revenues, property taxes is $73 million.
Mm-hmm.
Can you define or tell us what that is?
Yeah, so you must be looking at...
Just above the fund balances.
Where are we at? So all that is what, and I'm going to use the old terminology, is the old deferred revenue. The county is collecting money right before year end, and so it's not revenue to the county until the next year, and so those amounts are being deferred. So we want to make sure that the revenues are sitting in the proper period, and so you defer it until
2020 taxes collected in 19.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions about fund balance before I speak to the other fund I want to mention? If not, I am going to turn to, I hope I got this, I hope I marked this correctly. Where are you? Bear with me. Go to page, if you happen to have the financial report in front of you, page 271. And so I want to speak to this fund specifically this year, and it's been a topic of discussion that I've had with those that I've had to meet, that I've met with on an individual basis. And so the reason I bring it up, and the specific fund that I'm referring to, is the self-funded health benefits plan. Okay, and as you can see, as of December 31st, 2018, that balance had a deficit of $3.9 million. So let's say $4 million just for discussion. And so when you look at that balance, and in fact, if you look at it from a historical perspective, that balance has always been in some type of deficit position. I mean, I went back and looked back to the year 2014, it was a negative 4.8, and look at 2015, it was like 6, and then 2016, it was 7.6. My point is that it's always been in a deficit position, right? And so again, this is a self-funded health benefits, and the sources of revenue into this particular fund are the employee premiums, and of course the county's ability to fund that account. And so so far over the years, it's been able to fund it. All the bills are getting paid, all the doctors are getting paid, and all those services are being paid. But at the end of the day, every year, the county ends up with a deficit position in this particular fund. And so after so many years, you have to start thinking about, wait a minute, do I have a permanent deficit in this particular fund? Because you sit there and say, I mean, how either the employees are going to put in more money. I know that's a challenge, and I get that part of it, but it has almost a permanent deficit in that particular account. And so the only way that ever goes away is that somebody's got to kick in more money. And let's take the employees out of the equation for this particular discussion. But that it's got to come from the general fund, right? And so at some point, either we accept that it's just a permanent deficit account, and we just try year in, year out, and try to work it back to positive. I don't think that's realistic. I mean, you've got the challenge of you want to balance the employees' needs for health care, and then you've got knowing that you're in a period of rising health cost. And so the only way to get there is to make that transfer from the general fund, and that transfer would not be insignificant. We're talking, $3 or $4 million. And so I just wanted to bring you all just bring it up again. I mean, somebody may ask you, well, Ricky, if it's been deficit all the years, why now? What's so important about today versus 3 years from now? And all I'm saying, at some point, we just got to sit back and just be realistic with what's being presented. And so, again, I guess my commentary, my final thing would be, as you move forward, at the very minimum, don't forget about this particular fund. It is a deficit fund. It needs to be addressed at some point in time.
We did address it, and let me just stop you real quickly, because I think when we set the actuary set the rate, right, Sergio, when we had that report, we know that it's going to be overfunded this year. Based on the historical claims experience that we've had, we try to modify our benefits to maximize it so that we would limit or not limit our exposure.
No, and that's.
But the rate that we set, we expect that this deficit of $4 million essentially will be cut in half this year, more or less. And our plan is in the very near future, in the next 2 to 3 years, that we are in a positive position. We don't want to be in a negative position. And that's why we spent a lot of time on the health insurance funding and the premium rate determination, because we increased our premium contribution regardless to make sure that we could cut into this deficit. And that was a priority of the court.
Okay. And if that's what you're doing going forward, then thank you.
Yes.
Because that's
correct. I just want you to confront, because your comments were that we need to make a decision. We did make a decision.
Okay, and that's
fine.
Right now, it's about 1.5 million moving forward, based on the 6% increase that we did this year for 2020. We should have a $1.5 million surplus for 2020, and then also 1.5 million moving forward. So we will be able to eliminate this deficit probably by the end of 2021.
But it looks like in 2018, we cut it by 1.6 million.
Correct.
And if we raise the rates, we should expect that with a better program, more competitive, because we went out for bid and we were able to style this benefit package the right way, I would think that our experience would be the 6% plus another 1.5 million. So let's hope that we can get there faster. But we have addressed it.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, the proof's going to be in the pudding, right? So the next year, as of December 31st, 2019, somebody will look at that fund, and if it continues to be tweaked, it will. And if it needs to be tweaked, maybe kind of go back to those actuarial assumptions, because there are assumptions. Employees are not getting, as a whole, certainly I'm not getting any younger. And so employee health care costs, my layman's perspective from healthcare costs tells me that's not going to go down.
So we'll knock it out.
Well, some of us are. Some of us are. So anyway, so I just wanted just to point that out, and just if it's on your radar, keep it on your radar. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And so with respect to the audit report itself, I just had a couple other comments with respect to the comments that we had. And so if nobody has any questions on the numbers themselves.
Well, I was going to go to page 29 whenever you were finished. Because you have the component unit drainage, which is number one, you have a $23 million unrestricted deficit or whatever. I wasn't aware of that.
Yes, sir. So if you were to look, that's obviously coming off the drainage district audit report.
Well,
right?
And so part of us.
Right. And so where that's coming from, Judge, if you go back historically, back when the drainage district obtained debt to build, help the border levee project. Okay, you remember there was a bond like 10 years ago, whatever that was.
Yeah.
Okay, so the drainage district took those monies and I don't know what the proper word is, but I'm going to use the word build the levees to enhance drainage within the county. Okay, at that time, all the assets that were acquired in that process by that debt were transferred over to the IBWC. Okay, So what ended up happening on your financial statements, all the assets that debt acquired are gone. And so the Drainage District was left, from a financial presentation perspective, only with debt. And so if you go back to that time, you will see that number is actually getting low over time, getting smaller over time because the debt's being paid off. And that's how that came about.
Yeah, you acquired asset for somebody else with your money.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay? Okay.
But still to our benefit, because.
It
is a levy, we just don't have in your financial.
Absolutely. Financial statement, but in terms of what the benefit to the Drainage District was the right thing, just financially.
I get it. I just wasn't sure of that.
Yeah. And so the only other thing I wanted to just kind of touch base on was just the single audit reports, and just acknowledging that, obviously the county is the beneficiary. I believe it's over $100 million of combined state and federal aid, which is not insignificant. And so certainly that requires us to perform what's called a single audit. And in that process, we test certain programs and funds. And in that process, the outcome is sometimes we'll have findings. We'll have and findings, that's just a word used. But in short, it's a recommendation with respect to when we look for what's called grant compliance, that you're complying with the terms of the grant. We are obligated to report when you're not. And so there are some findings back there that are discussed, disclosed. Included with those findings are management's representations as to how they intend to be addressed. And so my only comment, unless we want to go into any specific finding, was just in the spirit of, and we talked about this, pretty much the years I've been up here, is ensuring a timely resolution of those findings. And to me, that's the key. Not, yes, okay, well, there's a finding, yeah, there's an area of improvement. We can all improve on something. I can improve on weight. We can go down that path. But it's how you react to those findings, how quickly that you address those findings, who you assign responsibility to those findings, and their ability to resolve those findings, so that next year when an auditor comes in, that those findings do not continue to permeate. So that would be my overarching comment on that, unless somebody wants to go into any specific.
Is there one that keeps coming up over the years? I think there's one that's been third year maybe. Yeah,
there's a couple in there that when you look at the finding itself and when you get an opportunity to read it, it'll tell you the years that it has come up. So if you see it more than 1 year past, then it's probably something that should be addressed sooner rather than later. And so yes, there are some that there's a couple, maybe one, maybe we maybe actually be down to one. No, I think
which is it?
I'd have to go back. One of them is the consistent utilization of time clocks throughout the county. Right.
Which is something we've addressed, and in response to that, there's 3 methods that are utilized. Obviously, the method that in a perfect world would be that everyone use the TAP program by way of the BioClock, but the logistics with the BioClock, specifically, if, as an example, if you look at law enforcement with shifts in and out, that one's a little tricky. And so there's 3 methods that we use, and I've addressed that with respect to management's response, that we have three methods in place, biometric being the largest one, which is the largest group, and then you have the other 2 methods by which an elected official, through their sphere of authority, accounts for their individuals or their staff's time.
Yeah, and that's certainly that's a much more detailed response that's in the actual report. If you go to page, it's a single audit report. It's on county letterhead. And our recommendation as it pertains to this particular one issue was, we recommend the biometric electronic clock policy be enforced to require all employees to clock in and out. That's just the general. The corrective action plan that's in writing here says the Human Resources Department developed a correction action plan in March 2019. However, concerns and/or issues with the biometric electronic clock policy were raised by the judicial courts. The county executive officer referred the matter to the DA's office for review. proposed completion date, pending opinion, and the contact person. So you may be provided an updated of what,
Right, it
of
would
what's
be an
here.
update, but that response actually falls in line with the prior response that we've given about the three methods that we utilize. And so like I said earlier, in a perfect world, the time and attendance for everyone to use the bio, but it does prevent, or it does not prevent, I'm sorry, it does provide for challenges. And so, like I said, we do have those three, but from an accountability standpoint, every elected office, every department, every officer in the county understands that individuals clocking in and out or the individual being accounted for is first and foremost, and there is a method.
Anything else, Commissioner?
I'd like to see what y'all have written about that, because it just keeps coming up, and I mean, you'll have to produce it right now, but I want to see it, and I want to see what the plan is moving forward.
Okay. Judge, Commissioners, that's all I have today. I probably went over my 5 minutes and apologize for that, but that's.
I don't have any questions. Anyone have any questions of the auditors?
And I'll get with you, Sergio, before I forget, because I forgot when I met with him, and about the self-funded workers' comp fund, but we could talk about that later. I just know that we talked about it. That's it.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Do we,
thank you, Judge.
A motion to accept the audit report?
So move.
Do we have an action? I don't think so.
Just as presentation.
To accept the presentation?
Yes, to accept the presentation.
Well, you have to accept the report so that it can be sent out to whomever needs it.
That's fine. Second.
So we have a motion and a second to accept the report. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for allowing us to be of service.
Thank you.
Judge, Commissioners, the next action item is, and we do have 5 individuals that have signed up a public participation form. While they aren't part of the same organization, they all are talking about the very same topic. As I suspect, it affects each and every one of them. So we do have 5 individuals that have signed up. It would be discussion, consideration, and action to approve the continued receipt of the Sheriff Bingo Prize fee funds collected in Hidalgo County for any cash bingo prizes greater than $5 pursuant to the requirements of Texas Occupations Code 2001.502 and House Bill 914 enacted by the 86th Texas Legislature. The individuals represent, we have Mr. Mosley, Mark Mosley, Richard Bunkley, Jim Chapman, James Ryan, and Holly Johnston. I don't know, I know that you all were here at our last session. I don't know if you all have a delegated representative, since it's the very same issue that you all are here for.
My name is Richard Bunkley, and I'll address some of the ambiguity in House Bill 914 that was discussed at our last meeting. At the last meeting, we were unaware of your correspondence from the Texas Lottery Commission. It was not listed on your website for the backup documents. The Lottery Commission sent the county 3 letters. The first 2 letters were included in the backup documents available online. The third was not. We did obtain a copy of the letter, though. We were unaware that the Lottery Commission had the legal opinion that in order for a city not to be able to claim the portion of a bingo prize fee that a county allowed to expire, then the county would need to vote to continue the tax prior to November 1st, and then after November 1st, hold a subsequent vote to give it back to the charities that work so hard to earn it. So we're unaware of that. Obviously, the General Counsel for State Representative Symphonia Thompson, who wrote the bill, disagrees. I'm really not qualified to weigh in on that. But what is clear is that a city like San Juan would have at least a legal argument to be made that they could step in and try to seize those funds that a county allowed to expire unless the county holds a vote to continue the tax before November 1 and then give it back to the charities after November 1. So that's what we're here today asking, is that you hold a vote today to continue the tax with the intention of bringing the issue back up after November 1st to give it back to the charities that work so hard to earn it. These are good charities. We've got the VFW, the American Legion, Make-A-Wish Foundation, Vannie Cook Cancer Center, the Boys and Girls Club, Palmer Drug Abuse Center, Children's Advocacy Center, and many more. These charities work very hard for this money, and they very often fill a need in the county that local government does not. They very often address a need before it becomes a bigger issue, treating addiction, caring for veterans, mentoring and educating children, as well as cancer research. These funds are very often administered by unpaid volunteers, and they can very often administer these funds in a manner more efficient than the county could. So one last point I'll make is that in the last meeting, Commissioner Cantu pointed out that the county does contribute to local charities like the museum and the Boys and Girls Club. So we understand that we're asking you to give back some of the money that you already counted in your budget. And we understand that you'd be addressing a small shortfall relative to the overall budget of Hidalgo County, but we would also request that you consider giving this money back to the charities that earn it. If not, you're basically taxing the efforts of some charities for the benefit of others, and that's clearly not fair. So we are here today humbly requesting that you vote to continue collecting the county's portion of the prize fee on bingo prizes and commit to giving that money back to the charities that earn it after November 1st.
Josie, what was your recommendation? Is it consistent with what he's asking?
To a certain extent. At the last meeting, I addressed the correspondence we had received from the Lottery Commission advising us that regardless of what the court's intention was, you needed to take action to continue to collect, to impose that fee, and that's irregardless of whether you decide to return the monies at a later date.
Okay. So what's on the agenda?
Yes, sir.
Next person.
I think they're all going to be saying the same
Okay, so
thing.
you summarize it for everyone.
So I'll make a motion to continue with the tax. Is that the motion?
The way it's worded is to continue to impose your share, the county share of the prize fee funds collected for any cash bingo prizes greater than $5 pursuant to the requirements of Texas Occupations Code 2001.502 and House Bill 914 enacted by the 86th legislature.
Okay, make a motion to that effect.
Second.
Okay, so all that means is that we're authorizing the continued collection of the fee or the tax.
Right.
That's correct.
We're not making a decision who gets it with this motion.
That's correct.
All right.
Well, by default, it goes to us.
Right.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Is there going to be, is the subsequent action, I guess 2 and 3, what does that do? Is
So,
that going to address?
Because of the requirements, once you address imposing the fee, if you vote to oppose the fee, the statute actually requires, and the Lottery Commission is requiring us to provide them with official notice. It's got to be by majority vote. So I'm going to ask you to go ahead and do a roll call vote. I'm going to recommend that. And I'm going to recommend that you identify or designate a person, in this case the executive officer, for purposes of letting the Lottery Commission know which way you voted today.
What's the significance of the way we vote?
If you vote to continue to impose the fee or not. We need to let them, we're going to provide them with
So
notice.
Commissioner's saying to continue to collect the fee. What does that mean?
Okay. Under the way the law worked before these changes were made in the past legislative session, the state imposed the fee on our behalf and collected it. And we got a percentage of that back to the county. So the charities were
Like
setting
a sales
aside
tax,
that
it
fund.
would go up the state and come down?
Yes, it would
Okay.
go back to the state and come back down to us. The way it's going to work now is once you make the decision to impose that fee, then the charities will have to send it to the county directly.
And so that if the commission wanted to entertain not accepting the money, then what would happen? It would go to the state?
Well, that's where we have the gray issue of whether or not the municipalities or somebody could step in and say they want to impose that fee.
We don't need your clarification. Well, all due respect, I mean, I wouldn't think that you were going to clarify that for us. So
Here comes Victor. The man on the white horse.
Don't avoid the mic.
Well, our office did call the Lottery Commission after the last meeting because there was some confusion about this statute and specifically these changes and whether or not that, how that was going to affect.
So if the county doesn't collect it, the cities can step in and collect it.
And then what
So
happens?
if we say, we're going to collect it, and then we say, all right, we're going to collect it, but you know what, we wanted you to go ahead and keep it, then I understand.
So if you take the action today to continue to impose the fee, that does not preclude you from taking action in the future to discontinue, and the statute specifically allows you to do that.
But if we don't do it, then somebody else can claim it.
Could step in.
So you're comfortable?
Okay, so that I can be sure, and I think I know what it is.
I don't, but.
Well, no, I think I know what it is. We're basically saying we're authorizing the continued collection of the fee,
The imposition of the
the
fee.
imposition of the fee, period.
Yes.
Okay, and this action can be rescinded later at
At a future date.
At a future date, okay?
To give
I
back
just
the
think
money
it's,
to
I
the
just
charity.
think it's weird because I think that last time, and I was in the other side, but Commissioner wanted to make sure the money went back to the nonprofits. Is he gonna get his wish?
That's not a
Not with
decision
this.
you're making today.
No, that's not the.
But
That's a
eventually-
decision you can make in the future.
We can make that decision later, but we can't do it today.
Okay.
We just have to make sure that we keep collecting. If we don't collect it, somebody else can collect it
Right.
and keep it.
Gotcha.
And just keep in mind that our budget reflected the collection of it.
Right.
Yes.
So it's much safer to collect it, and then we have jurisdiction over it.
Okay, another easy decision. We're ready to vote.
Give a motion in a second.
And you want to.
Well, we have a motion and a second, but we're gonna do a poll vote. So do you?
So I vote yes. Aye. In favor of the motion
I vote
to
in
collect.
support of Commissioner.
Thank you.
I vote aye.
Aye.
Let the record show that Commissioner Flores was not here, but it was a unanimous vote of the four members present. Okay?
So the second action item would be authority to send notice to the Texas Lottery Commission of the court's action and or before November 1st, 2019. With the court's permission, then I will get the appropriate documentation and notify the state.
So move.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Third action item would be authority to send notice to each licensed authorized organization within the county's jurisdiction as applicable of the continued imposition of fee pursuant to the requirements of Texas Occupation Code 2001.502 and House Bill 914 enacted by the 86th Texas Legislature. Judge, Commissioners, with that being said, I will again
Volunteer to do that?
But in conjunction with Mr. Cruz at the budget office.
Okay.
Move for approval.
Second.
Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Adult probation.
Judge, Commissioner, with your permission, Mr. Patrick is out of town, and so with your permission, for adult probation, domestic violence, this is our 1289 grant, number 3110404. They're asking the court to acknowledge and ratify the adjustment submitted to the Office of the Governor with respect to their domestic violence grant.
May I have a motion, please?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 10A. We need to step on the pedals here.
Human Resources.
Golly, Raul, every
Mr.
time I
C-
see you, you're losing weight. I don't have to follow you.
Thank you, Judge. Every once in a while, I see him going into HEB, and I text him, and I'm like, what are you buying? And he freaks out, like,
I never saw him. I thought he had some kind of a security thing there with HEB.
I know what everybody's buying at HEB.
Commissioner, that is your best sale right there.
Absolutely.
I would,
Show the
I
before
go
and
into
after.
HEB and I get a text, don't buy tortillas, don't buy donuts. You know, and I look around and I never see
You're
him.
like
so-
this.
Make healthy choices.
But it's working, Commissioner. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Good afternoon, Judge Commissioners. Raul Saliguero from Human Resources. Item 10, 10A, First is requesting waiver of the budget amendment policy, personnel-related amendments, if applicable, for personnel items that are listed.
So moved. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item B for HIDA Task Force. These are not general fund items. It's Chapter 59 and a HIDA account. Approval of the following personnel actions effective next full pay period, 10/28/19, and for calendar year 2020. The district attorney, the HIDA's office, division of the district attorney's office is asking to add a supplemental from Chapter 59 to a criminal investigator 2 position slot. It's one position under 2 slots for the amount of $8,279 to be consistent with the other criminal investigators. So we recommend approval.
So moved. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item C, Domestic Violence Court Grant. This is a grant that provides some compensation to certain positions for this special program. It includes 7 positions. There are 4 DA employees, 2 court employees, and 1 public defender. This is for this year's grant. They made some changes, some reductions. We recommend approval of what's listed. There's 2 salary supplements that were reduced. There are 2 new that were added, and there was 1 that is deleted. We recommend approval as listed.
So moved. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item D for the county auditors, discussion, consideration, approval for employee number 191132 to be paid out for accrued annual leave. The employee has accepted a position, is transferring to the WIC program, which is a grant program, and he cannot, those accrued hours cannot be paid by the grant. It's a general fund item, so we pay him out, and then he has to start from scratch at the WIC program, so we recommend approval.
So moved.
There a second?
Second.
Those
I
in favor?
just had a comment. If we can get together just on accrued leave over our 3,000 employees and see what were to happen if we would have to address something like this. I know this is very, very
How much
unique.
liability we have?
Yeah, I know this is unique. This is different, but
Yeah, we could, in the future, Commissioner, we'll be presenting a quarterly report. We can include this information
I'll
in
get
terms
with
of what's pending and
Well,
the
You get the
usage.
comp time reports and all that.
aren't you supposed to accrue that anyway on your financial statement? No?
Of course, sir.
You don't accrue that for your financial statement?
I believe.
Your unpaid leave?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, so, I mean-
It's in the audit report in
Yeah,
terms of,
There's a number
yeah,
already, yeah.
great.
absolutely.
But it's a fluid number. And I think.
But you
I
don't
think
want to know what the number is.
I think what Commissioner's asking, just give us a regular update.
Right,
maybe a
exactly.
quarterly
That's
update.
what I
But
plan to
because
do.
because it takes every department to be looking at it and managing it as much as possible. I know
Correct.
we talk about it very often at
Well, there's 2 things that are concerned. One is the accumulation of compensatory time. That's one, which can be managed, and we try to
Sometimes.
encourage that we don't accumulate too much. This is annual leave, so any leave that's not used, obviously the employee, just the annual leave, the sick leave does not get paid out. But when an employee leaves, any accrued leave, annual leave, then he's entitled to compensation for that.
Just a quick note, most
Yes.
of the time, we can control comp time.
Yes, sir.
But we're in an emergency
Sure,
situation.
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes, and we just provide, I think the treasurer's office provides a report by department to each department of the comp time balances so that you can manage
Yes.
that data. That's all I have. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Commissioners.
Thank you.
We have Urban County and
Urban
Judge
County.
Commissioner. Judge Commissioner, for the record, we do have a public participation form, but the individual who filed the public participation form had to leave. I think there was some discussion
Yes,
with
I
him.
already spoke to her.
But with that being said, Josie, for the record, the individual had filed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for 6 more items. She, and I will call each one, but she and I had a discussion about them, so I'll call each one just for the record. Okay. And for the record, on this one, it would be Ms. Fern McClurdy.
Yes.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. P.R. Avila with the Urban County Program. For item 11A, The Urban County Program requests approval of subrecipient agreements with the following nonprofit agencies for program year 32, which is 2019, retroactively effective July 1st, 2019 to May 31st, 2020. That is Amigo del Valle, Boys and Girls Club of FAR, Boys and Girls Club of Edinburgh, Camp University, Casa of Hidalgo County, RGV Literacy Center, Children's Advocacy Center, Easter Shields RGV, El Milagro Clinic, Food Bank RGV, Hope Family Health Center, Creative Arts Studio, Women Together Foundation, Inc., Nuestra Clínica del Valle, Open Hands, Huasteco Boys and Girls Club, and the RGV DC Valley Metro Transportation.
These are apparently program years starting in July 1.
Yes, sir, because our funding doesn't get in, our federal funding doesn't come in until about mid-October. So we let them go ahead and start their programs, and HUD allows us to go ahead and reimburse them for some of the services that they've already provided.
So it wasn't like you doing,
No, sir.
you
No.
doing the work. It was.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And for item B, requesting approval of the Second Amendment of the 2017 Home Community Housing Development Organization Program Amendment between Hidalgo County, Urban County Program, and Proyecto Azteca for a 6 months extension.
And for the record, there wasn't a public participation form on 11B. Ms. Farmer McClary.
Yes, sir.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners.
Thank you, Mr. Rose.
I'm assuming, yeah, okay. Eddie Olivares, Hidalgo County Health Human Services. I have a couple of items, Judge. Under Healthcare Funding District, this is discussion and consideration and approval to draw down funds for the Uniform Hospital Increase Program in the amount to be determined by Health and Human Services Commission instructions from the local Provider Participation Fund, LPPF, with a settlement date of November 2019. We are again, we fall in between timelines. We're expecting the instructions on October 25th, and we're looking at getting the settlement date probably the 1st or 2nd of November. So it falls between our courts. However, I reviewed this with Budget Office and reviewed this with auditors, that we will limit to the amount of money that's available within our fund. No, we're not going to commit to anything that's beyond our fund. And those instructions are pending October 25th, and we're waiting on them. It's, again, it falls between courts. So I'm asking for your approval for this, of course, with review from auditors and review from budget before anything is transitioned. These are not general funds. These are funds that are collected from the private hospitals.
Move for approval.
Second.
Any discussion? I think I understand this.
Okay, item B is approval certification of
Hold on,
revenue.
I haven't called. But
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
When you say you're draw down funds, these are funds that are coming in from the hospitals that are intended to leverage the monies that.
That's correct, sir.
That you have.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's correct, sir.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, sir. Item B is approval certification of revenues and certified by the county auditors from the local provider participation fund in the amount to be determined by Health and Human Services Commission's instructions, which are due on October 25th within the limits of the funds that are available in that account.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item C is approval of the 2019 appropriation funds for the LPPF in the amount to be determined by Health and Human Services Commission according to the instructions of October 25th, limited within what's available in the fund.
Move for approval.
Second.
Tell me what that is. I don't know what is all
we,
this.
the instructions from the state are going to come forward, and we'll review with the auditor and budget to tell us exactly what that figure is. The state determines the figure based on the actual collection from the hospitals. Now, if the collection is, say, that we have $17 million in that fund, and the state says we need $16,500,000, it's within the funding that's an amount, we send that to the state. If the state comes back and says, well, we need $19 million and there's only $17 million, we could only give $17 million. We can't give more than that. So it's only limited to what's available in the fund, and the auditors and the budget office would confer and concur that based on the state's instructions. So we don't determine that, the state determines that.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Questions, comments? Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you very much.
So Judge, Commissioners, as for Head Start, we do have a public participation form. Again, for the record, item 13A, Ms. Fern McClary. Okay.
Okay. It's a discussion approval for a budget revision. We had allocated $75,000 to move a building that's in FAR to Edinburgh. We do not need to do that anymore. There's going to be space provided, additional space provided at the Housing Authority on First Street behind UTRGV, and we'll be able to accommodate the children there. The Albores Housing Authority is going to be sold, and so we'll have to move out of there. But those 60 children would move to the location on First Street, so we don't have to relocate the building and use those funds for something else. So in the backup information, you will notice that we're wanting to purchase a pickup truck and a Suburban. Sometimes we have local training, and we'll end up having to pay mileage for staff to take their own vehicles. And so we want to have at least one vehicle to do that. The truck is going to replace one that has over 120,000 miles, and that'll be in the maintenance transportation department. So that the $75,000 would be used for the purchase of those two vehicles from the buy board.
Was that it? That was the entire budget?
That's the entire transfer or budget amendment. The actual items for the purchase come in the next page.
So you need a motion? I mean, you need approval?
Yes, we need approval.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
The second item is the extension of its discussion approval to extend option on one year and 6 months in terms of the interlocal agreements for Head Start facilities and/or land under the same terms and conditions with the following entities that are listed there.
We could just do as listed?
Yes.
Motion to approve as listed.
Second. Yes.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Letter C is discussion approval of request to enter into a memorandum of understanding between Hidalgo County Head Start Program and Edinburgh Consolidated Independent School District, and that's to accommodate some changes in location, but it is the partnership for school readiness, and we recommend approval.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Letter D is the presentation, discussion, consideration, and approval to enter into a memorandum of understanding between Hidalgo County Head Start Program and Texas A&M University Health Science Center. This is to address the needs of children with asthma, and they assist in helping parents to identify triggers, getting pillows for them, and working with parents to address the environment at the home to address children with asthma. We recommend approval.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
E is discussion approval to advertise, including approval of specifications as attached here 2 for sealed bids on lease of classroom space for the Weslaco area. This is the Weslaco center that the owners are not wanting to negotiate under the specific conditions that we have right now, and so it causes us to have to go out there and try to see if there's comparable space out there that we would need to be advertising for. And that's what we're having to do here.
So moved.
Second.
You know the owners?
I don't know. I'm going to find out, though.
Yes, they're looking to increase the,
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
I might just add that we have asked the Weslaco Independent School District to try to find space for us also, which would take its place if possible.
What location?
It's right on the expressway, right where,
On the east side
um,
or the one on the west side?
north side, yes. It's a portable
Yeah, I got you.
building. Okay, thank you. The next item is F, discussion approval for Hidalgo County Head Start Program to exercise option to extend for an additional 2 years term, actually it's a year and 6 months, the lease agreement for Head Start facilities in Orland under the same terms and conditions with the following, and you have a list there.
Move for approval?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
G is the item related to the purchase of the vehicles, and we have approval to request to purchase 2 vehicles, Suburban and a pickup truck, through the Hidalgo County membership participation with the Texas Association of School Boards TASB by Boards awarded vendor contract number 521-16, Caldwell County Chevrolet, including TASB administrative fees, and it is under the $75,000 that we had available.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
H, discussion approval to request the purchase of 10 school buses through the Hidalgo County's membership with Texas Association of School Boards, TASB by Boards awarded vendor contract 549.7, Longhorn Bus Sales LLC, including TASB administrative fees. That's the grant we received. We're proceeding to purchase the buses.
Move for approval?
Second.
Are you replacing buses or you?
We will be replacing some of the ones that have over 200,000 miles, yes.
No más, 200,000.
And we have more if we could find more funds, okay.
Okay.
H is,
Well, hold on. We
oh,
have-
I'm sorry.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
That was H. I is discussion approval of the community representative member from the Commissioners Court, and so the judge is pending naming somebody, so that will come back until we have somebody named. Okay?
I'll try to do that as soon as possible.
Okay, that's fine. We'll just put it in the agenda again. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Longoria?
Good afternoon, Judge Commissioners. Item 14A is discussion, consideration, and possible action to authorize the submission of the application to the Texas Veterans Commission for Operation Bravo Zulu in the amount of $300,000. Judge, Commissioners, I'm proud to say that this is the 4th application that we've submitted to the Veterans Commission. We've been able to come back with $300,000 each of the first 3 years. Operation Bravo Zulu on the outside may seem like it's a bill-paying program. But actually what it is it's a conduit that serves our veterans, our very lowest income veterans. It's a conduit to the other social net programs that are available to them. I've mentioned to the court previously that there's an unfortunate statistic that's been put out, and that's 22 veterans a day commit suicide in this country. And of those 22, 16 of those are not connected to the very organization that was designed to assist them, and that's the VA. So this program, when veterans walk into our program, the very first question we ask them is, are you connected to the VA? And if they're not connected, then we find every means possible to get them connected to the VA. Sometimes it means if they don't trust the VA, that we get them connected to the Veteran Service Office at the county, who can then serve as a conduit again. But I'm really proud to say, and this year I had the good fortune or the misfortune, depends on how you look at it, of having a veteran come to me and say, if it hadn't been for this program, I'm not sure that I'd be here today. And it sounds dramatic, but it's a very true story, and it made a big impact on me and shows that our program is very much needed in this county, and we intend to communicate that to the Veterans Commission.
Made the motion. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Judge. Good afternoon, Commissioners. Yvonne Ramon with the Elections Department. The first discussion is on election updates. I'm happy to report that the elections kicked off well. Yesterday was the first day of early vote. We did have 1,937 votes cast by personal appearance, which is about 494 less than the first day in 2017. But we did have 2 additional elections that ran 2 years ago. So we've got 5 elections running again. The cities of Alamo, Edcouch, Edinburg, La Jolla, and Weslaco. So for all those listening, it's time to get out there and vote. We've got the handout given to you has, once again, the turnout. You can see by location what the turnout was. At the bottom, you can see the total of 1,937, again, personal appearance. And then so far we have 174 returned ballots. So we're doing well. The second and third pages, once again, are the schedules so that you can have those for your review. The other thing I'd like to mention on updates are the explanatory statements for the constitutional amendment. As we know, there are 10 propositions, and the good thing is that on our website, which is one word, hidalgocounty.us/elections, you will find these explanatory statements that give you a better understanding of what these 10 propositions are. You can also click on the banner on our website, and that will give you all the information from your sample ballot to your schedules to any information that you need. I encourage everyone to go on to review your ballot before you head out to the polls to vote. So let's make sure that we are getting this done. Any questions on that? Okay, then we'll proceed to the approval, Section 15B, approval of the November 2019 General Election Service contracts between Hidalgo County and the following entities for their elections to be held on November 5th, 2019. We've got cities of Alamo, Edcouch, Edinburg, La Jolla, and Weslaco.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And I would like for Hilda to come up and show you the publication that went out in Sunday's newspaper, once again encouraging everyone to be aware of what we are doing to make sure everyone is knowledgeable.
Good afternoon, Judge and Commissioners. Yes, this elections notice insert did come out in the newspaper this past Sunday, and it does have a lot of information in regards to the election that's going on right now. So you do find the current elections information on the entities, the cities, for example, City of Weslaco, City of Edinburg. You find the type of election that they're having, as well as early voting information, the times, and if you turn it to the back, you also find election day. And one very important service that we are offering on election day is that we are countywide. So yes, we have had it since 2017. In November 2017, that's when we piloted the program. But of course, now on election day, anybody can vote at any polling location. Their ballot is everywhere, as well as early voting. Okay, so that's it.
So I know, I read the paper online and I always see Mayor Suarez come up. Is that ad online? No, I know that. Is that ad online? Sorry.
It is online. It's on our website.
No, but did you advertise it in the Monitor online?
Yes. Well, it should come out.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure if it did come out through the web on the Monitor, but it did come out in the newspaper.
Because I
can go ahead and follow
I
up
see
on
Mayor
that.
Suarez all the time.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Melanie Esparza with the Elections Department. Item C, it's elections contract, the approval of the 2019 appropriation of funds from the general fund elections contract restricted fund balance in the amount of $30,000 to fund purchase of a vehicle. These funds are not being appropriated from the elections contract restricted balance, not the regular general fund account.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
So that's all I have, but again, once again, encouraging everyone, we've got the early vote through this weekend. We've got 7 to 7, except for Sunday, 10 to 3, and then the following week from Monday through Friday until November 1st. So no excuses. Let's see what's on our ballot. Let's go on our website, pull a sample ballot, the explanatory statements, and let's get these votes going up. I invite everyone to make sure that your family members and your friends are all going out to vote. Thank you.
Salazar, Judge Commissioners, with your permission, this is a WIC item, but I asked Ms. Marty to present, given the request.
We're requesting approval to pay the final invoice from Reliant Energy on the account noted on the agenda for $439.64 in the Weslaco Clinic, which was closed on June the 12th.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried.
Mr. Arredondo.
Good afternoon, Judge Commissioners. TJ Arredondo with the Planning Department. The first two subdivisions are up for preliminary approval. First item is KK and H subdivision in Precinct 4, a one-lot subdivision and a flood zone X. Drainage is natural percolation and surface runoff onto Uresti roadside ditch. It's in the rural area of the county. Water is provided by North Alamo and septic tanks will be used. We're recommending approval.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Next item, Garcia Oak Estate subdivision in Precinct 1 is a 5-lot subdivision and a flood zone X. Drainage is natural percolation and surface runoff onto Milano roadside ditch. It was approved by Weslaco. Water and sewer will be provided by Weslaco. We're recommending approval.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
The next 4 subdivisions are up for final approval. Josefina subdivision in Precinct 1 is a 1 residential and 1 commercial lot subdivision in a flood zone C. Drainage is natural percolation and runoff onto Canton roadside ditch. It's in the rural area of the county. Water is provided by North Alamo Water Supply, and septic tanks have been installed for the residential lot. Septic tanks for the commercial lot will be installed at the permit stage. We're recommending approval.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Next item, Maria Olivares subdivision in Precinct 4 is a 2-lot subdivision in a flood zone X. Drainage is natural percolation and surface runoff onto Brushline roadside ditch. It was approved by the City of Edinburgh. Water is provided by North Alamo Water Supply, and the septic tanks have been installed. We're recommending approval.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Next item, Eduardo's number 23 subdivision in Precinct 3 is a 38-lot subdivision in a flood zone X. Drainage is a storm sewer system and detention by widening the existing drain ditch. It was approved by the City of Mission. Water is provided by Chevrolet Water Supply Corporation, and sanitary sewer will be provided by the City of Mission. 5 streetlights have been installed, and one internal street has been paved. We're recommending approval.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Next item, Solana Verde subdivision in Precinct 1 is a 60-lot subdivision in a flood zone X. Drainage is a storm sewer system and detention by widening the existing drain ditch. It's in the rural area of the county. Water is provided by North Alamo Water Supply Corporation, and all septic tanks have been installed. In addition, 11 streetlights have been installed and 3 internal streets have been paved. We're recommending approval.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
The next subdivision is up for final approval with a financial guarantee. San Lucio number 1 subdivision in Precinct 4 is a 23-lot subdivision in a flood zone C. Drainage is a storm sewer system and detention by widening the existing drain ditch. It's in the rural area of the county. Water is provided by North Alamo Water Supply, and all septic tanks have been installed. In addition, 6 streetlights have been installed and 2 internal streets have been paved. We recommend final approval with a financial guarantee in the amount of $4,780 for a buffer fence along Valverde Road.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
The last item is discussion and approval to allow the dedication of an off-site 15-foot drainage easement to Hidalgo County for the purposes of running a storm sewer pipeline from the proposed Camino de Abram Phase 2 subdivision to an HCDD number 1 regional detention facility, and there's an exhibit attached, and we're recommending approval for this.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, no action on item 18A. They got sick this weekend, won't be able to make it here.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. Item 18B and C, they're the same thing, they're just different parcels. I'm going to just do one, or you want to individually?
You can do them both, same time.
Precinct 1 requesting approval to accept counter offers to purchase a tract of land known as Parcel 70 and Parcel 71 associated with Mile 6 West Road improvements, and for the authority for the county just to sign the administrative evaluation and approve form.
Motion to approve 18B and C.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioner.
Thank
Go
you.
Astros.
Boy.
Go Danny.
Item 20A, Judge, Commissioners, for the record, there is a public participation form by Ms. Fern McClarity.
Good afternoon, Judges. Belinda Reyes, Precinct 4.
Item AI 72863. The first item, approval to rescind action previously taken on Commissioners Court on 10/8/2019 under AI 72518 for interlocal agreement between Edinburgh CISD and Hidalgo County in connection with the Lynn San Manuel Veterans Park, formerly known as Brewster Park project located in Precinct 4.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 2, requesting approval of revised interlocal agreement with Edinburgh CISD and Hidalgo County as it relates to the design and development of the Lynn San Manuel Veterans Park, formerly known as Brewster Park, located in Precinct 4.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And A, still part of A, number 3, in accordance with Texas Government Code 791.014, approval of proposed project whereby Edinburgh CISD and Hidalgo County desire to jointly undertake the design and development of the Lynn San Manuel Veterans Park, formerly known as Brewster Park, located in Precinct 4.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Judge and Commissioners of the Court. Dr. Jennifer Mendoza Culbertson with Precinct 4. Agenda item 72740, requesting approval of the RGV Food Bank distribution to use the San Carlos Endowment Center Community Cultural Rooms, including the parking lot areas at Precinct 4 on Wednesday, November 13th, 2019, from 9 a.m. to 12 noon.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
At this time, I'd like to request the following to join me. Mr. Pepe Cabeza de Vaca with Precinct 1. I believe he is around here somewhere.
Walked right outside. He's in the back over here.
And also to join me, Ms. Alma Ochoa del Toro, Research Coordinator with UT Health. Also today, we have Ms. Alicia Rodriguez, Precinct 4 Endowment Center Site Supervisor and Community Health Worker Supervisor, overseeing operations in the San Carlos area. Last but certainly not least, we have two special ladies who work hard every day to promote the benefits of nutrition and exercise to Precinct 1 and Precinct 4 community members. We have Ms. Maricela Gonzalez with Precinct 1. She's a community health worker. And Ms. Lorena Arevalo, Precinct 4 community health worker for Tu Salud Si Cuenta. Before we present agenda items 72739, parts 1, 2, and 3, I would like to take this time and opportunity to reintroduce this great grant program, Tu Salud Si Cuenta, running on its third agreement with Hidalgo County Precinct 1 and Precinct 4 and the University of Texas Health Science Center at Houston. Tu Salud Si Cuenta is an evidence-based, collaborative, innovative, and results-driven program that is focused on improving health outcomes. Ms. Ochoa del Toro is distributing and has distributed a folder with information, but let me tell you a few highlights of the program. The Tu Salud Si Cuenta campaign is led by the UT Health School of Public Health, its collaborative action board, municipalities, and county community partners. The program engages local community members and policymakers to work together with community health workers, or promotoras, to provide health screenings and deliver motivation and education to those who need it most. Free exercise groups, walking clubs, and classes are offered throughout the community and low-income neighborhoods to increase activity to physical activity options. Big community events like the Challenge RGV Weight Loss Challenge, bike rodeos, and other fun family-oriented events have also been organized to engage constituents and promote a healthier lifestyle, utilizing county parks, community resource centers, and other public venues where the areas and people gather. The court has provided with more information on each individual and the exercise schedules with the use of the county properties and venues around Precinct 1 and 4. If the agenda items are approved this afternoon, we are collaborating with the county wellness endeavors to offer county employees the opportunity to take advantage of this fantastic program. And now for the agenda item. Agenda item 72739, number 1, requesting approval of interlocal agreement between Hidalgo County and the University of Texas Health Science Center at Houston on behalf of its Department of Brownsville Regional Campus to provide Tu Salud Si Cuenta program activities effective October 1st, 2019 and expire September 30th, 2020.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Number 2, approval of certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor for revenues associated with the interlocal cooperation agreement with UT Health Science at Houston.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And number 3, approval of 2019 appropriation of funds in the amount of $120,000 into the SNAP Ed program for anticipated program expenditures.
So moved.
Second.
Those were budgeted, I assume.
Yes, they are.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank
Great
you,
job.
ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Yes. These ladies do a great job.
You too, Pepe.
You do that. Oh, yeah.
On the count of 3, Commissioner Focus, can you please wait? Okay, ready on the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3, smile. Got it. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you. And gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. Sergio Cruz, Department of Budget Management. Item 21A is requesting approval to submit the 2020 Hidalgo County Formula Grant Program application and approval of the county resolution in support of the application with authority for the county judge to sign the county resolution.
Move for approval.
Second.
Can you tell me what that is?
This is going to be for the Indigent Defense Program. Basically, there's a grant, a formula grant that provides funds for the county. I believe for fiscal year 2020, it's estimated at about $640,000. Last year, we received $672,476, and these are for assistance for the Indigent Defense vouchers.
Okay, and who was part of, how does the formula get programmed?
Basically, by the state, they have a formula grant for all the counties, and basically just on a pro rata basis.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you for the explanation.
Yes, sir. Item 21B is approval of the supplemental pay adjustment as listed on the agenda, effective October 1st, 2019, and for calendar year 2020.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And item 21B2 is approval of the intradepartmental transfer.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 21C1A, requesting approval of the certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor in the amount of $57,164.20 for revenues received from the city of McAllen for the Mile 5 road project and appropriation of the same.
Move for approval?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 21C1B, requesting approval of certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor in the amount of $178,105. These are for revenues received from the city of McAllen for the FM 1925 road project and appropriation of the same.
Move for approval?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge Commissioners.
Thank you.
Judge, Commissioners, for the record, we do have a public participation form for item 22A1, and it is Ms. Fern McClarity.
22A1, approval of change order 33 for the change design and finish material for courtrooms with the construction of the new courthouse from contracted vendor Morganti at $98,106.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 2 is authority to advertise and approval of procurement packet for excess workers' compensation, RFP number 226, including and we put that in just in case we were to have to advertise twice, we wouldn't have to come back.
So moved. You need it or not?
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Is there a question, Commissioner?
No.
Item 2 is pursuant to the packet. I'm asking for the names of the evaluation committee, and I am asking for backups. I know your chiefs of staff are overwhelmed with work, and sometimes it is, difficult for them to meet the deadlines that we impose. So if you would, I would presume you're asking for the chiefs of staff, but I need the backups also.
My backup would be Amy Smith.
Where?
Amy Smith.
Okay.
Mondo will do it. I'll make sure he does it.
Not Erica?
Yeah, Mondo's got it. I see him turn it in.
Okay.
Mine will be Hilda Salinas.
And my backup, you know my chief, but my backup is Letty Science.
Letty, know her well. Okay, and I will, with your permission, I'll ask Commissioner Precinct 3 to give me that backup. And then, of course, for the record and the vote, it is the chiefs of staff, plus these
Okay.
backups.
Let's go ahead and have a motion to
So moved.
approve all those.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 3A is presentation to Commissioners Court of the recommendation as to order of selection from staff reviewing and evaluating the responses received from the 3 electric energy provider, 2 aggregation pools and 1 cooperative, and that made presentations and proceed to so that we can proceed to the next step of the process. The order in which it's being recommended are TCAP, Texas Coalition of Affordable Power is first, Public Power Pool, which is known as P3 second, and Texas Public Energy Alliance, TPEA, as third. Does the court wish to concur with those recommendations?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Then pursuant to that selection and placement of the aggregation pools in the order, approval and completion of the applicable and required documentation and execution of same, including but not limited, and I've listed each one since we didn't know who would be selected. Any of the applicable documentation will be completed and executed.
Do you need a motion?
Yes, I do.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, now, what is the motion intended to do here?
I'm asking that, seeing that it's like, the first one is TCAP.
Yes.
Okay, so we would have the court then proceed to allow us to fill out the documents TCAP requires.
I got it.
Whether
Okay,
it's
I'm
this
sorry.
Okay.
All
or
right.
this,
I
So
got
that
it.
this.
we can proceed to the next step.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Now, we will have, of course, the DA's office review those documents. So we couldn't do it beforehand because there were so
I
many.
understand.
And item C is.
I was having a senior moment, so
No.
be with me.
I can't relate to that, Judge. C is discussion and consideration to appoint designated person, Commissioners Court member or executive officer, or anyone else to be determined, authorized to accept a rate not to exceed, at the very minimum, the present base rate of 0.039 cents, and sign the order to execute contract for electric energy. At this point, once we are in the process of delivering all the documents that are necessary, they're going to go out and secure us a rate. And I'm asking in anticipation of that the day they recommend that energy is the lowest they think they can get for us, that someone in authority say, yes, pull the trigger, we're going to do it. But I would recommend that it not be any more than what we currently have.
Right.
So if you could take
It's going
action.
to be closed, the market.
It is.
Yeah.
It is, but at least we can't do any worse than
You
I would
wanna
recommend.
Put Valde or?
Either yourself or Valde.
Valde, I would recommend,
No.
Judge Valde.
we'll have Mikey do
We
it.
can have either or, right, like in case.
Oh, yes, yes,
Either
yes.
or.
Well, we'll contact a court member, or Mr. Guerra can be contacted.
I'm available if the court wishes.
Yes.
I mean,
I think that would be the best way.
I'll work, okay.
So,
If I could have action, please?
So may I have a motion to appoint our executive officer Valde together?
Second.
We have a motion and a second? Yes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 4 is requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code, 262-024A4, a professional service.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
We are presenting the scoring grid for the purposes of ranking by Commissioners Court. We passed them out because they were uploaded just yesterday or today. Of the firms graded and evaluated, the three firms were L&G with 392 points, B2Z 387 points, and TEDSI, which had, I'm sorry, I didn't write it in. 376 points. Does the court wish to rank them in the order of those scores?
Say it again.
Does the court wish to rank
No,
them?
no, I know. Give me the rankings.
Oh.
It's right here. I'm sorry.
Yes,
I got it. I make a motion to rank them as stated.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried.
Item C is authority for purchasing to commence negotiations with the number one ranked firm, L&G.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried.
Item 5 is approval of the First Amendment to the Hidalgo County Depository Bank Agreement with Lone Star National Bank, previously approved on the agenda as stated back in May of 2019, with all the information noted on the observation has been uploaded.
And Judge, Commissioners, for the record, Commissioner Cantu is abstaining from any discussion and/or action on this item.
Move for approval.
Second.
And I just want, for the record, our legal department reviewed the changes,
It was all done by, yes, through them,
in it, not only to form, but to,
securing what was needed.
is that a yes?
It was Mr. Garza, yes, through Honorable Victor Garza.
That's correct, Judge. We looked at the form of the additional document agreements that will be added onto Exhibit C, but also worked with the bank and based on their recommendation, worked on the amendment. And our position is that this particular amendment also puts the county in a stronger position as it relates to the safekeeping bank. So we're recommending approval of the agreement.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item B1, this is for, through the Executive Office, this is requesting exemption under Texas Local Government Code 262-024A4, a professional service.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And this is a presentation of the scoring grid. This is for the services required under the Occupation Code for the demolition of the Hidalgo County Juvenile Youth Village. Half and Associates, 475, Chanin Engineering, 470, and ICE, which is International Consulting Engineers, at 425. Does the court wish to accept the ranking, the order of the scores?
So moved. So moved. Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item C is pursuant to Hidalgo County's choice of the ranking. We proceed to negotiate a professional engineering services agreement commencing with the number one, Half and Associates.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item C1 for Precinct 1, presentation scoring grid, is subject to review and concurrence by TxDOT for the purpose of ranking, submitting those SOQs for the project-specific RFQ with P, professional engineering services and inspection, materials testing, and construction management for Mile 6 West Road Project from Mile 9 to Mile 11. And those were SAM Engineering, 293, Millennium, 286, and B2Z, 284. Does the court wish to rank them in the order of those scores?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
I'm
Motion
against,
carries.
Judge. I'm against that.
Let the record show that Commissioner Cantu voted nay.
Okay. Item B, Authority for the Purchasing Department to commence negotiations with the number one ranked firm of SAM Engineering and Surveying.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
D2, Precinct 2. This is acceptance and approval of work authorization 1, estimated at $4,114.50, as submitted by the project engineer B2Z to provide design, management, and inspection services under the contract 306 for the indoor baseball park renovation project.
So moved. Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
B is pursuant to the contract with B2Z. They're requesting approval to subcontract Laney's Architects and Trinity MEP to provide design of the MEP engineering services for the indoor baseball park renovation project.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 2 is acceptance and approval of supplemental agreement 1 for the services under work authorization 1 through contract number 291 with B2Z, resulting in an estimated cost increase $3,628.40 for Valle Alto Park Youth Facility Project.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
On item 3, no action, as requested by the precinct. Precinct 3E1, acceptance and approval of work authorization number 2 with an estimated cost of $2,775,700 as submitted by project engineer LNG Consulting to provide engineering services for FM 676, Mile 5 from State Highway 107 Conway to Taylor Road through contract number 427. And as I stated in our prep, Judge, this is also through an MOU with the City of Alton.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
F1,
And Judge, Commissioners, for the record, there is I'm sorry, not F1, it would be F2. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
okay. Precinct 4, acceptance and approval to execute the final form of professional engineering services subject to concurrence by TxDOT. Contract number 020 for inspection, material testing, and construction management for the North Alamo Road realignment project with Millennium Engineers.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Requesting approval of work authorization 1 in the amount of $107,412.25 with Millennium Engineering Group. Contract number 020, North Alamo Road realignment. As I said, this is subject to TxDOT's concurrence.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
I'm sorry.
Item-
So Judge, Commissioners, for the record, item F2, 22F2, there is a public participation form, and for the record, it is Ms. Fern McClary.
Item 2 is approval to rescind action taken by Commissioners Court on 10-8, agenda item 73619.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
B, acceptance and approval to execute final agreement of professional engineering services with SDI Engineering for the design and construction phase services for the Lynn San Manuel Veterans Park located in Precinct 4.
Move for approval.
Second.
Was there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item G. Oh, no, sorry, going on to item B. Item C, sorry. Requesting approval of work authorization 1 in the amount of $171,124 under the current agreement with SDI Engineering for the provision of engineering services for project-specific design and construction phase services for the Lynn San Manuel Veterans Park, Memorial Veterans Park.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item G is a countywide presentation of sole responsible bid received meeting for the purpose of award and approval of contract document in connection with the project titled Maintenance and Repairs of Elevators Located in the County-Owned Buildings, and that would be with ThyssenKrupp.
Move for approval.
Is there a second? Oh, are they the same ones that are taking care of our elevators now?
We sent out 12 packets, we only got one.
Yeah, I was reading that contract. I'm not sure that I know what the meaning of repairs are or is, but I'm going to let you take care of that, Marty.
Yes, sir, I will, noted.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
When opposed, motion carries.
That's all I have.
Judge, Commissioners, we do have open forum, one participant for the record, Ms. Fern McClarity.
Sold.
And we do have closed session.
Okay, pursuant to Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Codes, Section 551.071 and 551.072, we will be retiring to closed session to discuss those items listed. I have a motion to do so.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Okay, we're back from executive session. Is there any action items to be taken?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge, Commissioners. Under open session 26A, real estate acquisition appropriation for same, there's no action to be taken today. 26B, pending under potential litigation, there's no action to be taken. 26C, no action, duties evaluation work director. 26D, no action, duties evaluation health human service director. 26E, EEOC charge -NS number 451-2019-01980. Judge, Commissioners, for the record, this is being formally assigned to Ms. Josephine Ramirez's office at the District Attorney's Office, Civil Division. And just as a matter of prudence, if I could have an action to that effect.
So move.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
In item 26F, claim of Diana Acuna. Judge, Commissioner, I'd like some authority to make an offer in the amount of $1,227.86. If accepted, then I will ask the auditor's office that it be made out to Diana Acuna and the law office of Bobby Garcia.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Judge, Commissioners, before there is no need for 27 no action closed session and 28 open session before adjournment. We will be having a workshop next week. I'll schedule it for 9:30 a.m. And we will have a consent agenda item so we can pay bills.
May I have a very enthusiastic motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
So moved.